Hello and welcome back to the channel. I've got Daisy running here, charging it up, barely turned over, like one revolution fired, just. Good old thing, bless it. Up the top of the garden this time where I actually rebuilt that one turn, Betty. Literally just about where it stood. I'll put some photos on actually where it was. I like doing it all. And Willow actually, TD5 110. I got the awning out to try and get it to dry because the bags are never waterproof, so they just sit there and fester throughout the winter months, getting all wet and mouldy. So let's try and dry it out a bit, and then this probably this summer, because we're using it again in April, so probably this summer I'm going to take it off and clean it all, retreat it. But anyway, so this is where we got to with the camper. We got the worktop in, we got all this all varnished, got it all oiled, floor mat in. I've just got to trim a little bit more off the edge so it's just sticking up. So there's that to do, but I can do that kind of any time really. Oh look, there's a bit of water there. So it's probably going to be that other alpine seal we kind of know about. One little drop there, but that's going to be from the condensation of this rail that should be fixed once we've lined it with something. So near enough from here to that partition is done on the base layer, say, other than the boards being cut and messing around in here, because we're going to have the gas bottle in there, if you remember, and put the access door in to put it in. So I think now we need to focus on this section here. It's just sitting there, just purring away. So I'm going to start off with this L piece panel. So this M panel that's going to go on here, it's going to go all the way across to there. I worked out that the board's going to come all the way down and meet in this gap. So it's going to be panel down to that edge, that corner going up, like a big L, and then a little one coming across just to brace it, and then I'll probably put some of that rubber mat in along that very top edge. So basically this episode is going to be focusing on getting this L piece in, a little bracing, and then sort of winging it to go, am I doing this or that. I have got a camping trip in April, 1st of April, so minimum I would like is that bed base done over here and these panels cut, so at least I have a bed and somewhere to put my beers. So let's get cracking. I've got to get all the wood up. So I don't know if this is going to make sense, but I've measured 64, that there's the height of the entire, from the floor down here up to this point there. So that's going to set the height. And what I'm going to do is run the saw down at an angle to match this angle here, because the wood's going to be coming across and down here, so I need to cut that angle in. So I need to set the saw up to cut it. So I'm going to set the saw up to this angle, one of the angles that I need to cut it at. That I need to do some jiggery pokery to figure out my head around which way it goes on. So I'm going to zip that bit off, because imagine that whole sheet in here. So I'm going to cut the top off. That small section is going to have an angle on it that I'm hoping will be able to fit in here to match the angle of this wood coming up, is the hope. I'm hoping that surface and that surface are parallel. So I'm hoping the bit I cut off up there will actually fit as an infill in there with the angle correct. So I'm going to cut that, and once the angle's right I can then step it down and run that bit across. So you can see at the angle cut in, look how warped that bit of wood is. That's going to be fun. I've got the angle cut in there now, so we'll see if it fits. Oh, I hope it's going to work right. Don't know if I can show you here very well, but maybe. Oh no, wrong way around. Okay, that's going to be some head scratching then. So I've got to go that way. Open. You can't see there, I've got the angle cut, so it should be nice and level. So now I've got to do some figuring out and make sure my cut lines are going to be in the right place. But you can see what I mean. I'm hoping that when this sits in here, that the angle is going to be right for the wood to go up. A bit of a problem. Pepper's not really helping me. So I've cut the length down now, I've cut across. I've obviously got that taper done there, look. So now I've got to cut another taper this way. So this line here, I've got to cut at an angle like that to match the wood that's going to be sitting on the top, to go for like the bedding area bit, because obviously this wood's at a bit of an angle, isn't it? But the problem I've got is I can't flip the saw the other way to come down this way to cut that angle. It will only cut that angle. If I run it, start it from there and come up to the edge, it only comes at an angle like this. Even if you flip the wood over, it's still wrong. And you can't say start it here and plunge it down and in and then run across, because it's at an angle. When you go to plunge it down, it's literally going to cut a big weird chunk out of it all, and it's going to kick the saw over and all sorts. So I can't do that either. So I've got to have a bit of a think here what I'm doing. Right, so my idea is I'm just going to cut it straight down the middle, not do an L shape, just do that one piece at the bottom, so that will fit neatly across, all the way across the bottom of this bit of wood, all the way across, and then make a bit for the top. That's the neatest and easiest way I can think to do it. You're not going to see the join obviously behind the seat, so I think that's just the best. So I've just, I don't know if you saw me, I just cut these out, pocket holed and just drilled and glued it onto this panel and just wedged it up in there for now. I can't fit it in. Right, you can see the pocket holes there, look. I can't fit it in yet because I need to get some fittings of some sort to, I think, coach bolts. So 1, 2, 3 of them. I need to get some coach bolts to sink in here first, and then I'm going to put a bit of the offcut of this matting over this. I think it's going to neaten that up really well. Also, it's a good place for the water bottle to sit in here. I've got like one of them lifesaver jerry cans, so I'll fit a strap on here and around, so that will neaten all that up. So I need to get some hardware to finish this off, so I might call it for today. It's a really nice day, so I might get the cars washed and have a bit of a chill out before work tomorrow. So I'm going to start getting a game plan throughout the week of how to get all of this in, and heights and angles and fittings, and the fridge is going to be a bit of a headache, and I need some sort of support that side to hold the worktop on, and I'm not going into it all, but start with this bit, I think. So a bit of a change of scenery now. This is probably a good month after our previous video, or where you last saw anyway. So we sold the house, and I've had to move everything into storage at a farm. So yeah, sorry for the delay in this video, but I think you can understand the issue I've been having. Everything's scattered to the wind, or should I say scattered into the wind into this corner. Stuff is everywhere. That's loaded up, this was loaded up, we had a couple of loads of trailer loads, that was loaded up. That's been doing quite well, to be fair. I'll probably show that in a bit, but the wood we ended up transporting in the rain that wasn't good, and I'm hoping these marks are going to come out or can be hidden. It had loads of stuff on top, had literally loads of logs on top of it and a tarpaulin, and it's lifted just off the surface because it's resting on the offcuts from that matting, so hopefully it saved it. But I've just got to try and get my head around now where I was. I think I was putting, now this panel's all loose, I think I would have bolted that through the through here. So it's Friday now. No, my days are all gone. It is Sunday now, and Friday I'm going camping. So the aim of the game is somehow get the fridge in. This is all today. I've only got today to do this. So it's either somehow mack all the fridge in here, or maybe have it sitting back in there. Fridge is probably going to be last. The main criteria is cut the boards to fit in here, get the top shelves in there, so at least I have a bed platform to lie on, as I don't really want to be lying and sleeping on top of all this, and I'm not being in a tent. And mount the cooker on here. I've also got to get a new gas bottle as well because that's empty, and work out where the pipe's going to run for that. I think it was going to come up through here somewhere, or here. So I'm going to mount the cooker on. I'll just put a couple of strips of wood on there for now with some offcuts. Get the gas bottle filled, get all this put on and whatnot. And what's really good is all my camping stuff got put into storage. Well, half of it has, half of it hasn't. So now I've got to try and do that Friday morning first thing. So I'm going to go have a cup of tea and shake my head and ponder at where I'm going to start and what I was doing, and maybe watch some of the old video and go from there. So the 322's been doing well. I had a bit of a clean yesterday. It's had some abuse, bless it. I'll probably put them photos in now. It's not done well. It's got a bit of a clunk when you're pulling off, and I know there's a bush that's gone on the arm under there that comes along with the ball joint. that bush needs doing, possible front drive shafts. Transfer box is about, but we'll just pretend we don't hear or feel that. But yeah, not too bad. Still, £2 you can't argue. Kettle is on with my makeshift camp unit. That's really good for going into the back of Defenders and, well, whatever really. I've had it in my D4, in I think I've had it in the series, and in that, and in Noggin as well. So it's nice. It's an old top box or Facebook Marketplace. Some of the drawers ripped out. Perfect, and you can strap it down to points. I got my diesel stove going, an MSR Dragonfly. Happy days. Right, back to it. So I'm going to put these coach bolt type IKEA leftovers. I'm going to put 4 of them in along here, maybe 5. 1, 2, maybe just 3. Probably just 3. I'm going to somehow use magic and luck to tighten them up without nobody inside holding the other side, as I'm going to have to go right underneath and up through that channel to tighten these up. And then I'm going to put a bracket that I have just put somewhere. I don't know where it's gone. In here. So line this up here, nice and flat, and then I'm going to put a bracket in here just to hold it, and then once that's held, drill the holes and bolt all that in. As easy as that, he says. That panel's in. It's really solid now. It literally doesn't move hardly anything at all. That's really good news. That's going to be a really good base for the tops to go on. So, seeing as how solid that is, what I might do actually is start on the top straight away. So what I've got, oh, the mess and everything everywhere, are these brass piano strips. So what I'm thinking is it's not the right way to do it, really. You're best, like I said, you're always best to drill in this surface, not this surface. But what I'm thinking is mount one side to the back here, and then the other surface to the back of the boards on the top. And then if for any reason it goes wrong in the future, I'll just redesign all of this and beef it all up. But at the moment, it's the best idea I can think of. So I've got that bit of wood cut. I've got a spacer in here, i.e. the metal ruler. I'm going up against this edge here, so following that contour down, because that's where the cushions are going to be coming across. I've left a gap here, as I'm going to be putting fixed piece of wood in here, between here and here, to strengthen that again, to stop it pushing out that way, and for any of this board here to start moving around. It will have additional support in here, but for now this will do it while I go camping for a long weekend, just that piece. So I'm going to get a couple of holes put in here, routed them off, sand it all, put them on, put the hinge on, cut this to shape, router this edge smooth, so when you lean in you're not on something sharp. Get this fitted in, and then I will move on to this big one here. I did think I might be doing two, but I'll see how this one goes while I'm thinking of that one. So, holes cut, routed, smoothed off, sanded, cut down to length. I've not got all the screws in yet because the drill's just dried. First time. Oh yeah, there you go. And look, it goes all the way back. So you have full access, and the weight of sitting on it should go through this. That's not bad. Right, so I'll get the drill on charge, and in the meantime I will get this cut and measured. Right, so I've got this bit all cut, edges all rounded off, drilled and countersunk, and then that's going to fit in there like that. So I'll get a bit of glue. It's going to come out because now it's probably all set. In here. Every little helps, I suppose. Isn't that an M&S advert? Every little helps. I've butted it up against this edge, so I've got a gap around here and around here, just to make it a little bit more uniform. Right, so we'll get this one in here. Well, the little handheld drill has a plug, a little micro USB plug to charge it. I ain't got one. Let's get a bit more. Yes, just below the surface. Right, got that gap nice. Get that gap nice. Make sure this is all even down here. Hoping it doesn't blow out because it's an angle. It's not good. There we go. So that's even strengthened even more with this brace. take you off. So there you go. This is going to have another panel in here, most likely, that's going to come up and help support this as well. I'm going to put an infill panel in here, and then another one in here that can all sit inside. But a lot of the chairs and everything's going under there. And screws are in. I think you saw me do. There we go. Nice even gaps. So now I'm going to focus on this big one. Or two. I haven't decided yet. Still. Just off camera while it was charging, I've put a couple of strips of wood on the back. I've drilled the hole for the gas feed into where the bottle is. So all you got to do is turn that on. Just flick this down. And there's your cooking. See if I can do it one-handed. There you go. Nice and simple. Now when you're done, done. So obviously there's going to be a panel all on here and whatnot, but for now that will do. So now I'm going to focus on this cupboard hatch, whatchamacallit, bob here. I don't know how much my phone just didn't record then, but that's all on and glued in, that little strip. That access panel's all ready to go, other than the drill needs charging and it's died, so I've got to router those off, well, drill them out, router them, and put the hinge on the back. And that is that top compartment done. And the next is to get these panels here cut. They're going to fit in here. I think they're going to eventually sit up in here in 2 slots, but I'm going to roughly get them cut for now. The other panel's all in now, looking fairly neat, to be fair. I've got finally managed to get the other board out. Ridiculously heavy. There you go. Them piano strips really do quite well. And again, I thought not putting a panel in the middle, just so if I need to fit bigger things in, I can. So I've got a bit more room in there. There's going to be some sort of a false floor in here. I think it's going to come about there, across and down here, so up and across here. Just so the wet mucky stuff like chairs and tent poles and stuff will go this way in here, because I have a horrible thing of if they go that way they'll end up going through you, so you best have them sideways. So they're going to sit underneath all that gap there, so I've just got that little bit to put in there in these, but this can all wait for now. I've got enough now to go camping. I've just got to make these panels now. I'm thinking I'll just do 2 for now, then if I need to I can cut them smaller and do smaller ones to fit in here. We'll see. But I'm going to cut 2 to go in there, and then that's the bed base done. That's done. I'll hunt around all the crap and try and get all the stuff in here for the camper if I get to go camping. And then if I've got any spare time, I might start playing around with this fridge section that's going to have a floor in here and whatnot. It'd be nice to get the worktop on. That would be quite nice to see. Well, there we go. Bed platform done. I think I'm going to mount these up there. Three of them up there. You see that, or they might slot down there at the back behind the seats, or I can always cut them down further, make it easier. But we'll see. But what I might do, I'm just going to have to sand them a little bit first, and I'm going to oil everything now. And then that's a really nice stopping point for the camper build. I can get the mattresses chucked on. I'll get a load of stuff put in. I don't want to put the rug flooring in there yet because I want to use this board before I take it off. So I think that little thin strip there, about that, I'll end up putting in there, and then I'll have a bit then that's going to fit in the bottom of that. So so far with two boards, and I think it's about 50 centimeters off the end of that one. It's about there. So roughly 3 boards to do it all. I've still got obviously all of that in there and this bit, but yeah, it's coming together. Well, I've made a mistake. I can't open the door. Oh, maybe. Might need some alterations. So I've got it all oiled, that's all ready to go now, the bed bit is. I've just seen the cooker was on. Started packing some stuff in, you can see how the chairs are going to fit underneath. I'm going to start focusing a bit on this now. I've just propped all this in place, using some scraps to get the right heights. So I'm just watching the geese. They're known to be a pain. Where was I? Yes, I'm going to put the panel on the outside of here to give me a bit more room. and then I'll probably put another vent in here the same as that one, as well as that being on the top. So I'm going to start doing that. Look at them acting all cool, look. Oh, we're just going to get closer and closer. And then they just keep hissing at you every time you move. I'm guessing the grey one is Mr. Goose. So my phone died yet again, but I think you got something on time lapse. So I've got all this put on. I've got the grill put on. I've really quickly oiled this, not very well, but that's supported in there, look. And then that's propped here with a wing nut on the back. So that you undo that wing nut and the whole thing just slides straight out for the base. Make it easy removal, just in case. Hey, that rhymed. So if I set you up here, try not to throw you on the floor, you'll see. Snug. But perfect fit. Then you can just about see the display through the mesh. This will set back a little bit more, as far as it will, and then I'll run a strap around because you need access down here to get the door open. So it will actually be set back a lot further. I'll probably end up putting some blocks along the back, like against that face, just to space it out so it can't go too far forward. But yeah, it's now ready for this. Oh, it's really annoyed something fell on here when we're moving everything round and it's marked it. So now I need to put that hinge on there, and then that whole unit then, that hot top bit will lift up. Should look good. So finally, after all that painstaking time of having to watch me on time lapses and boring gibbering about a load of rubbish, oh, my kettle's boiling. So yeah, this is nice. No motorhomes, screaming kids, traffic, no horrible campsites in sight. Oh, I should have folded that out first, it's hot. But it's good not caring about your paintwork, isn't it? But yeah, so this is off camp for Off-Grid Camp is the site. It's a really good membership. Farmers sign up to it, so they allow people to camp here or camp in their fields and whatnot. But yeah, just listen to that. Isn't it just fantastic? No screaming kids. Ah, oh, lovely. But yeah, so first camp, see how it all goes. So I've roughly rigged the cooker up that I think I already showed you. So that's going to be mounted there like that. The pipe work through, gas bottle under there. Everything I just slingshotted in there. Just, I was in a rush. We managed to quickly get that done. These are covers off the first willow build I did. I'll put a little picture, you might actually see them in there. But you can see the similarities of what I've done with this understorage and the big compartments. Now they've made a massive difference actually, how much more storage you get. Right, it's a win and lose. So yes, you've got more storage there, but then you haven't got the exterior stuff like the ones in the lockers that were nice for putting all your tools and stuff in. The fridge is in here. This isn't finished yet. I've still got plenty more to do. What I'm thinking of doing is maybe putting a brace from there, a metal brace from there, onto here, just to stop. If you can see that, yeah, just to stop it flexing basically. I've got another bit of wood I need to put under here for that to rest onto. But you can see the fridge is under here. That needs propping this way a bit and that way. You can just about get in there as it is. So yeah, so that's worked out well. The heater's there and it's out the way enough for the fridge hopefully. This is a bit of a trial run to see how it goes. I might have to put some insulation in there or a bit of tin or something to help it. You can see what I was on about with the ventilation here with this. It's nice you can actually see the temperature of the fridge in there. So the beer is at a steady 4 degrees. That's good. Like I say, it's just not finished yet, but I've got plenty more to do. Everything's just rigged together roughly. I've hooked the little heater display up there that just bunched the wires in. But yeah, I've got all this to do. I've got to find one of these wiper covers. They're really expensive. When you do find them, they're all rotten as well. But I need to get one of them. I'll talk about this in a minute actually, but water is a lifesaver jerry can with just a little hose attachment. When the whiskey comes out, that normally sits out here. So yeah, she did well. It had a quick Tesco Finest car wash special. It didn't really do an amazing job, but hey ho. You can see you still got all that big storage under there, so I had all the chairs and everything in there. But yeah, it's worked well. That bag goes on the back door, but at the moment it's absolutely full and it will basically rip that wheel off. Log burner that used to be the old compressor that I used to run. I have nowhere to put that. I'm not sure. I've got to get a game plan for that because I need it to go somewhere, but I'm not sure where. Maybe on the roof somehow. I don't know. The awning's going to come out in a minute, I think. But yeah. So what's left? Cladding, all of this up to that section there. I'm not sure what to do with the front yet. I'm tempted just to put normal roof liner in and carpet it. Well, line it with something nice. I've got some offcuts of this. I'm going to run down really thin slithers and use it as a nice edging strip. I think some brass baskets in here to make it look nice. Then I'm not going to worry about that weird gap. I found actually a bottle of Jack Daniels is a perfect fit in that gap. Unit coming up here, shelf across here with some storage on the top, and fettle the boards for the bed to figure out how they're going to fit on the back of there. And that's most of the camper build done then, except from lighting and a little bit of electrics. Rear door needs some love and attention, and a nice door card made of birch ply put on it. And then I'm going to put a drop down table on. Not a front runner one though, because they're ridiculously expensive. Bodywork all needs sanding down like this all over. And interior wise, I need to tidy all the dash up. I need to sort all the door cards out. I think I'm going to change the bulkhead because it's absolutely gone. It's full of filler. Like if you know your Land Rovers, there should be, well, it should near enough look like that side. There's a lot of filler in it. It's really bad. There's really not much left of it. So I think if for resale, it's really gonna hurt it. Waterproof, I've got to reseal all these. I noticed it's leaking from there today when I washed it. I'm going to carpet all of the interior black, get the dash trim on, make it look nice in the front, and then the black will also tie in with the black in the back, maybe bits of brass. These are actually brass, these screws, so they could perhaps do a clean up. Maybe cover this or the whole bottom dash in the same fabric as the replacement cushions. Oh, and then underseal it all, and then it's probably going to be up for sale then. We'll probably use it for a couple more trips. We'll definitely get it dialed for the camping, make sure it's going to be reliable, and then she's off. So from how I bought this to how it's going to end up is going to be quite a change. It looks awful, but underneath it is so solid. It's one of the best driving 110s I've had, and compared to all the ones we have in at work. But yeah, like near enough a brand new chassis, like Land Rover Puma chassis on it. Like it's all gone through. Like a slight weep on the pinion seal on the rear diff, the usual. Everything's lovely on it, really is. There's really not much to do on it. But I think the next one's going to be another 110 TD5 of some sort, and then I'm going to do that as an OCD build sort of thing as the camper. So the reason why I've done it like this now and spent all this time and effort doing this is, first of all, I don't want to do it half-arsed, but also I want to see which one I prefer for a camper build, a county or a van. There's not many people who compare them, but what I'd love to do is get the owner of Willow. So if you're watching it, we'll have to have a comparison side by side of the camper builds and go through them, because it'd be great to see, and also figure out what's going to be better for the next one. I really do like the look of this worktop. Like I said, I've not used it yet. This is literally the first time, but I like the worktop. The wood's nice, but it does mark really easy with the oil. Like that's just a bit of muck that's gone on it. Look, you won't get it off unless you sand it a bit and clean it and re-oil it. Little mark from a boot there, so it marks so easy. So I'm really not sure. It might end up. My original plans were always oil it or make it look nice, and then when they start looking really tired, then paint it colour. But anyway, yeah, storage see which one's better for storage and usability, of either more storage in here, because obviously the floor drops, the doors, and if it's worth, because a county is worth a lot more money than a normal van. Like for a, let's say, a TD5 county, you could buy a Puma van. Not that I want a Puma, but that's the sort of difference you'll get. But my plan for the next one will be the cheapest possible Facebook Marketplace special, and I will do a full build on it and document all of it as well. So that's going to be a boring one for you. But yeah, I'm going to get settled in, enjoy the view, and I'll show you some of the night that goes on. Maybe a bit of the trip that we're going to do. We've not even made a plan. Our plans are normally, we're going to go away on this date. Is that alright with you? Yeah, that's fine. Where do you want to go? Don't know really. Well, should we just go to where we went last time? Yeah, right. So we've just booked this. And that's our plan. So we've got a couple of nights. Don't know where we'll end up. Currently in Malvern. So, yeah, enjoy.